Welcome to the podcast that questions everything, from conspiracies to philosophy, from science to religion. We will be looking at the construct of the illusion, and as always, we will question everything. Hello and welcome to Everything's an Illusion, a podcast where we question everything. I'm your host, Rob Wallace. I was going to be joined by the bearded master of sci-fi, but life is such and such is life, so here we go. We have Serpent Overlords, Vaporised weed, drawing, virtual reality headsets, Deadpool and Gods of Egypt. So I'm just going to kick straight in this fantastic episode. Serpent Overlords. This is quite a simple concept. Obviously, it's a conspiracy kind of idea that we are the farmed subjects, or something like this, of a super advanced, highly evolved, from dinosaurs, serpent race. Now, if you Google it, there's plenty of stuff from David Icke all the way through, and there's obviously plenty of television programs like V that cover this kind of subject. And the Masato Toys forum, which is a great alternative forum, there's a great thread on this with hundreds of videos, or tens of videos. But you go into YouTube and you can find hundreds of videos on the serpent race. Now, so some of the ideas then would be dinosaurs were intelligent. Now, the latest rehash of Jurassic Park was sort of jumping on this idea that dinosaurs were intelligent, or a few species were intelligent. Now, these intelligent dinosaurs, if they were to have evolved, they would have millions of years, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of years of evolution on us. Now, we know that a chicken, a pigeon that steals your pie, a hawk, etc., are essentially an evolved dinosaur. The bird swapped the tails for feathers. So that in itself shows you that the dinosaurs did not go extinct. Some of them did evolve, they did adapt. They just say that over hundreds of millions of years you had a very intelligent dinosaur. If you look at the pterodactyl, it was essentially a humanoid with wings, and it evolved for hundreds of million years, and it involved its intelligence. Now, just think about, obviously that sounds far-fetched, but think about us just now. How intelligent we are as a species, all the things that we've accomplished. And would we be able to communicate with ourselves in 100 years? In 1,000 years? Look at the technology that man would have in 1,000 years. In 10,000 years, could we communicate with ourselves? And then put that into the millions, the tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of years. Would humanity just now be able to communicate? Now, if we take a tribe in the Amazon with, say, a 600 to 800 year gap, no technology, it's very hard to communicate them. Take that gap and expand it to 100 million years of a different species. So the idea that a cow can communicate with the human farmer, yes, but does it, or can it understand the intricacies of the farm and the technology that the farmer is using, and if technology that the farmer has at its disposal outside the farm? So that's the idea of an evolved serpent race. Now, if you look at the kind of classic lines of David Icke, etc., that the royalty, the queens, the kings are all essentially serpents, the particular bloodline, they protect their bloodline. And then if you look at places like the City of London is within the Greater London, and it's right in the very middle, and it's about a square mile. And I used to work as a tour guide in the City of London, and you would pass the dragons as you entered the place of where the papers were printed, where the Bank of England is housed, where the stock exchange is housed, where the money and the power is, and you pass a dragon to go in, and you pass a dragon to go out. All the main arteries leading in, there's a dragon. And I always found that really fascinating, you know, that there's dragons in every culture. China, you know, the UK, all over Europe. There's also serpents, like the Bible, you know, one of the main characters is a serpent. Serpents, dragons, intelligent reptiles appear in every culture throughout the dawn of history of human civilization. And there's definitely a lot more to the symbology and the semiotics of the serpent, of the dragon. And I would advise you to, that's enough to plant a seed. If you're interested in this stuff, go to YouTube, go to the web, plenty of good stuff to get you thinking about basically what is the importance of the role of the dragon and the serpent in modern day society. It might blow your mind. It might not. Right, so that's that. I'm going to move on to virtual reality headsets. Now, you might know that this is the next big thing, obviously, in technology. And so I went out, not wanting to miss a trick, I went out and I bought myself from eBay a Google Glass, a Google Cardboard. It's just a bit of cardboard that folds up and you can slide your phone in, and you wear it as a headset, like a set of glasses, and then you can access a lot of the virtual reality apps. So Google Cardboard has an app in itself that allows you to access various things like Google Earth, various tours, allows you your videos, etc. So I checked it out, and the first thing I checked out was the tours, and the tour was spectacular. It was the Palace of Versailles, and you go into like a King's Chamber. I'm standing in the middle of my living room, and I've got a wee tour guide talking to me. This is the King's Chamber, da 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 da. And I'm looking about, and everywhere I look, to the ceiling, to the floor, to the wall, wherever, I'm seeing the art, I'm seeing the tapestries, I'm seeing the grandeur of this fantastic room. But I'm standing in my living room. Then I click the button, and it takes me to the next place, the mirrored room. At that time, mirrors were a fancy technology, and people, it was only the kings that could afford them, the royalty. I've got this wee tour guide telling me all this good stuff whilst I look about, and everywhere I look, due to the sensors in my phone and that 360 video kind of stuff, the phone that's in the bit of cardboard, the virtual reality cardboard glasses, is relaying all that information to me. I was like, this is spectacular. No, this is going to be big, really, really big. It's like, what else can it do? So, just within the app, the Google Cardboard app, you can check out Google Earth. Now, Google Earth, it's the exact same as Google Earth. You can just zoom everywhere, go and check out Glasgow, go and check out the Grand Canyon, go and check out Everest. But the difference is, with the goggles, you can fly, like literally fly round. Like, I went to the Grand Canyon and I flew through the Grand Canyon. I'm looking left and right, and I'm about 1,000, feet in the air as I'm flying through the Grand Canyon. And I just press the button and I stop, and now I can look 360 degrees everywhere. I went to Everest. I stood on the top of Everest, obviously just in virtual reality, but I stood on the top, pressed the button to stop the motion, and then I had a look about the place, and it builds it all up for you. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I flew down my street, all that kind of good stuff. Then cinema. You can, any videos that you put on your phone, you can watch them as if you're watching it at the cinema, because the screen is that close to your face, and what it does, it projects it. So it feels as if you're on a 1,000-inch screen, and you just sit there, headphones in, put the movie on, and you've got like a big top of the range cinema right there on the couch. Like, I'm talking blown away, virtual reality. A wee sip of beer there. Now obviously there's huge implications with things like medical, gaming. You know, you're actually immersed in the game. You're playing a first person shooter, you're looking about, you're boom boom boom. It's quite spectacular in that sense. The porn industry's jumped on it. So virtual reality porn, first person wherever you look. You know, the if you think about the future, people go to their work in virtual reality in a call centre in a service industry. Then they go to the shop and walk the virtual aisles, picking their items. Then they go to the casino in a virtual casino. Crazy. But it will be like the Matrix, people will be plugged in. But at the minute, it's an exciting tool. And for £2, I highly recommend you buy a Google bit of cardboard or a fake one. And just check it out. It's pretty spectacular. Okay, going to move on to vaporizing weed. Now, I came across a graphic the other day, and it was all about basically burning weed. Now, weed, as you know, has some fantastic medicinal properties. Marijuana can be very much a medicine, and the CBD, no the THC, the CBD has been known to people with MSME, arthritis, migraines, cancer, autism, various stomach irritations, etc. You can give them relief, pain relief, comfort, allow them to relax. And that's the CBD. Now, a lot of people smoke. Now, the big thing about smoking is obviously, the first thing is, it's not good for you. It's not good for your lungs, it's not good for your, all that kind of good stuff. And recently I've been seeing a lot of people vaping. Obviously vaping nicotine with a candy flavour. And I've been thinking to myself, again, why do people who don't smoke weed, why do they not vape weed? So I've done a bit of research, and they can. It's like a wee oven. It's like a pen with a wee oven, and they put it in, and it heats it to a particular temperature, 185 to 195 degrees centigrade. And that vaporises the active ingredients, the THC and the CBD, and then you inhale it without inhaling any of the crap that you would get from burning the plant or burning tobacco or burning paper. That's fantastic. You know what I mean? Making that access to that as a medicine, for the folk who are accessing it as a medicine, that little bit healthier, because the worst thing you want to do, as you all know, oxygen is the key. So the worst thing you want to do is impair in some way your lungs. You want to be able to keep your lungs as strong as possible, and vaping your medicine is probably the best way to do that. One of the stats I read was something like 12% of the plant you get access to if you smoke it, whereas if you vape it, it's upwards of 90% of the active ingredients. So straight away, if you're a price conscious individual, you know, better value for money if you vape it. I found that interesting. Okay, next thing on I'm powering through it. This is going to be a short one. This is what happens when the bearded master of sci-fi ain't here. I just power through. He'll be back next week, and then we'll get to talk about the Panama Papers and a couple other things. Drawing makes the inner mind more vivid. I've started drawing again, and I found that a few things have started to happen. When I'd done some meditation, inner meditation, that sort of stuff, I only ever seen one colour. I never really seen shapes. People talked about they visualise things and they see things, and I was always like, aye, shut up. And I always found it strange, the inner world. People talk about these things, and it's like, it's happened a few times, but mass majority of the time, my inner world is one colour. Since I've started drawing, and I'm still at the phase of kind of rudimentary drawing, building the basics, learning the basics again. But I've started to see in my inner mind when I'm dreaming or I'm waking up in the morning and I'm still in that kind of lucid state, that I can visualise things. I can physically, virtually visualise things and see things in my inner mind, which is fantastic. So if you're ever in that kind of zone where you're struggling to get your visualisation happening, get into drawing and check that out. Can draw some stuff, visualise it, sketch, and hopefully you'll see the same sort of leaps as I have in your inner world coming to life, because it must be the same part of your brain that you're working. It's an exercise. You're making your active mind more reactive to your will through visualisation. So that's just a personal observation. So check that out, and if you want to see any of my drawings and buy any of my art, you can check it on theenergeticmind.com, and I've got a Design by Human page, designbyhuman.com/the energetic mind, so check that out. Last but not least, 2 films for your perusal. The first one was Deadpool, and the second one was Gods of Egypt. I'm going to go for Gods of Egypt first, so I finish on a high. Gods of Egypt. I love the whole kind of Egyptian mythology, the gods, all that kind of good stuff. And the movie had a lot of big names, had a lot of special effects. The VFX were insane, but the movie was fucking horrendous. It really was horrendous. But to be fair, if you like old school big Egyptian kind of things, switch your brain off and just sit there. If you like that kind of movie, by all means watch it. If you want something with a story and a bit of something, then don't. So Gods of Egypt, now that's what I call a review. Deadpool was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It was a superhero movie, obviously, but it had a bit of wit, had a bit of obviously violence, but just the direction, the way they filmed things, the way the characters came across. Personally, I was kind of blown away. I was kind of shocked by how good I thought it was, compared to some of the other kind of Marvel, DC adaptations. This is more like the kind of stuff I like to read in graphic novels. The stuff the storyline wasn't just so simple. It was again one notch above simple. But the wit, the humour, the direct to camera, the direction, the VFX, best kind of action comic book hero kind of take in a while. Really impressed by it, really enjoyed it. Definitely check that out. So that was that. A very quick podcast. Everything's an illusion. I'm your host, Rob Wallace, so check that out. Feel free to subscribe and join us on Facebook, Twitter. Get some conversation, any questions. If you know of any guests that want to come on, hit them up, get them a PM us, and thank you very much for listening. Back soon. Cheers. Bye. Everything is an Illusion is brought to you by RobWallaceMedia.com, award-winning media. TheEnergeticMind.com, inspirational, motivational and thought-provoking art. And Health Made Simple. Buy today, change your life forever. healthmadesimple.info. Thank you, and remember, question everything.